One hospitality package for this event reportedly sold for $4 million. $4 million for one afternoon at one football match. And when you see who was actually inside that stadium, it starts to make a strange kind of sense. Tom Cruise, Rihanna, Matt Damon, NBA superstars, Super Bowl champions, Olympic gold medalists, and a halftime show that stopped the world. The 2026 World Cup Final wasn't just a football game. It was the single biggest gathering of famous people anywhere on the planet this year. So let's walk through exactly who showed up. Set the stage first. Sunday, July 19th, 2026, New Jersey. Argentina against Spain for the World Cup. Lionel Messi on one side, Lamine Yamal on the other. Two generations of football greatness on the same pitch with a trophy between them. That alone would have been enough. But this final had something extra because for the first time ever, a World Cup final came with a full halftime show, and they went big. Shakira took the stage and had the entire stadium on its feet performing her track Die Die. Then K-pop juggernauts hit the field for an electric performance of Dynamite, a World Cup final with an actual halftime spectacle built like a Super Bowl show. It's the kind of thing that turns a sporting event into a global cultural moment. Which brings us to the guest list, and honestly, it's ridiculous. Let's start with pure Hollywood. Tom Cruise was there. Matt Damon was there. Julia Garner, fresh off her run of acclaimed work, posed for photographers on the way in. Kevin Hart brought his usual energy. Model and television personality Winnie Harlow was in the mix too. And Rihanna, because of course Rihanna was there. Now let's talk about the couple who genuinely stole the internet that day. Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet. Chalamet had an actual job at this thing. Before kickoff, he walked out of the tunnel carrying the official match ball and placed it on its stand in front of the world. And he'd already been building up to it, having attended Spain's semifinal against France in Dallas days earlier, where he was photographed deep in conversation with David Beckham. Then he joined Kylie in their suite, and the two of them proceeded to dominate every entertainment headline the next morning. But we'll leave that story there, because the sports crowd deserves its own moment, because the athletes turned out in force. From the NBA, Victor Wembanyama was in the building. So were Tyrese Halliburton, James Harden, and Draymond Green. From the NFL, Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes attended with his wife Brittany, alongside Giants quarterback Jackson Dart. And from the Olympic world, ski legend Lindsey Vonn and figure skating gold medalist Ilya Malinin were spotted. Think about what that actually means. Basketball royalty, football royalty, and Olympic champions all buying tickets to watch someone else's sport. That's the pull of a World Cup final. These weren't people showing up because they needed another camera angle or another headline. They were there because some moments are simply too big to miss. Even at the highest levels of fame, success, and achievement, there are still events that make everyone become a fan again. And that's what makes the World Cup final different from almost anything else on the planet. It doesn't matter if you're a Hollywood superstar, a championship athlete, a billionaire, or a global icon. When that whistle blows, everyone in the stadium is watching the same thing. Everyone is waiting for the same moments. Everyone is hoping to witness history. But here's the part I find genuinely fascinating about events like this. Normally, celebrities are the main event. They show up, the cameras follow them, and the venue is just the backdrop. Not here. At this final, every single one of those enormous names was for once in the audience. The stars of the night were on the pitch. Messi, Yamal, 22 players and one trophy. The people sitting in those luxury suites had spent their entire careers being watched by millions. But on this night, they weren't the attraction. They were the fans. They were the ones taking pictures, reacting to every goal, celebrating every big moment, and experiencing the same emotions as everyone watching around the world. So you had Tom Cruise, one of the biggest movie stars in history, sitting in a stadium as a spectator. Rihanna, one of the most influential musicians on the planet, watching alongside some of the greatest athletes alive. NBA superstars, NFL champions, and Olympic legends all gathered together for one reason: to witness football history. That's the gravitational pull of this specific event. It's one of the very few things on Earth big enough to make the famous people into fans. And the money tells the same story. That $4 million package reported by industry press wasn't just a ridiculous price tag. It represented something much bigger. It was the market saying that being inside that stadium on that day was worth almost anything. Because people weren't buying a seat, they were buying a memory. They were buying the chance to say, I was there when history happened. They were paying for the atmosphere, the energy, the feeling of thousands of people realizing they were part of something they might never experience again. A World Cup final is not just a football match, it's a cultural moment. It's the type of event where people remember exactly where they were when it happened. And that's why the biggest names in the world still show up. Because money can buy luxury, money can buy comfort, money can buy access, but money cannot buy the feeling of being surrounded by history. Now here's what made the whole thing land. The game delivered. Spain took the championship, and for the neutral fan, this final had everything you'd want. Messi, one of the greatest ever to play the game on the biggest stage. Lamine Yamal, representing the next era of football on the other side. And there's something almost cinematic about that. A tournament that ran across an entire summer, a stadium in New Jersey filled with emotion, a halftime show featuring global pop stars, and a crowd where you could turn your head and see an Oscar nominee, an NBA All-Star, and a worldwide music icon sitting only a few rows apart. That combination is almost impossible to recreate, because normally sports, entertainment, and celebrity culture exist in separate worlds. Movies have premieres, music has concerts, sports have championships. But every once in a while, an event becomes bigger than its category. It stops belonging to one group of people and becomes something everyone wants to experience. The 2026 World Cup Final became one of those rare moments. It wasn't only watched by football fans, it was watched by people who don't normally follow the sport but knew they were witnessing something special. People who wanted to be part of the conversation. People who wanted to experience the same moment everyone else around the world was talking about. And that's the power of a true global event. It creates memories that go beyond certain plays or moments. But they will remember the atmosphere. They will remember the celebrities. They will remember the images that flooded social media. They will remember that for one night, the entire world seemed focused on one stadium. And that's really the story of the 2026 World Cup Final. Somewhere along the way, it stopped being just a football match and became the event of the year. The kind of night where celebrities weren't creating the spectacle, they were experiencing it. The kind of moment where you could look around the stadium and see people who normally never share the same room. A Hollywood legend, a global superstar, an NBA champion, an Olympic icon, all sitting together, all watching the same game. For everyone who wasn't inside that stadium, we got the clips, the photos, and a guest list that felt almost unreal. It was like Hollywood, the NBA, the NFL, and the music world all came together in one place. They weren't there just to be seen. They were there to experience history alongside millions of fans. Because no matter how famous someone becomes, there are still moments when everyone becomes a fan. So tell me in the comments which celebrity sighting surprised you the most. Was it Tom Cruise, Rihanna, Matt Damon, Kylie Jenner, Timothée Chalamet, or someone nobody expected? And who do you think had the best look of the night? Let me know down below. If you enjoyed this rundown, smash that like button. It's in entertainment, celebrity news, and unforgettable events from around the world. See you in the next one.